If you haven't seen The Last Jedi, I don't suggest watching this video. Hey, what's up you guys? It's Caitlin. Welcome back to Building Characters, and today I want to talk about one of the main plot lines in The Last Jedi that I had a problem with, and that would be the entirety of the town of Cantabite. Now, we're introduced to this town that we haven't seen before. It's a town with a huge casino in it, with people who are filthy rich just wasting their money and wasting their lives away, and that's pretty much the entirety of what we get to see of this town of Cantabite. And so today I want to talk about the pros and cons of Cantabite. Let's just dive right into it. My first pro that I would say would be definitely the space ponies, for lack of a better word. I'm an animal lover, and it really just brought me joy to see something that resembled that of horses in this movie, I guess. And I just thought that it was really cool the way that they played it out, and I mean, they were adorable, so yeah. My second pro for Cantabite would probably be the fact that we actually get to see a view of life of people who lived under the First Order who weren't oppressed. Usually we see a view of people who are oppressed by the First Order and who hate them and who are just waiting for the Resistance to take over and to save everything. However, we don't ever get a chance to see a view of people who are totally fine with the First Order being in charge. And these people in Cantabite are living life to the fullest, and they don't have a problem with the First Order. And it's the first time we kind of see people who are totally okay with these bad guys being the rulers of the galaxy. A third pro that I've seen for the plotline with Cantabite would definitely be the kids that we were introduced to that were actually slaves who worked with the space ponies. There's even the scene at the very end of the movie where the kid uses the Force to grab the broom, and I really think they're going to use them in future films for possibly even future Jedi, which I think would be really cool. Another pro that I saw in Cantabite was the fact that we got a little bit of character development for Rose. I really loved Rose's character. I thought she was precious and absolutely adorable, really sweet, and she was a character that we haven't seen before. I feel like some of the characters in Star Wars can kind of be difficult to reach. Some of them we can relate to really easily, but some of them are kind of difficult to understand. For instance, not everybody is a princess. But I felt like Rose was somebody that I could definitely identify with as somebody who, you know, is a fangirl and gets to meet her hero, but then actually she got to realize her hero wasn't everything that she expected him to be, and I thought that that was really cool the way that they played that. Also, in Cantabite, we hear a little bit of her story, and we get to hear what her background was and how she was just waiting on the Resistance to come and save her, and I just think that that's really cool that they gave us that little glimpse of who she is and what she's about. Another pro that I saw in the plot line with Cantabite would be the fact that we got a little bit more character development for Finn. Now, there's this codebreaker that they meet in jail, and Finn does not trust this guy at first, but he decides, you know what, we're kind of desperate, we kind of need somebody, and okay, this guy will work, and so they decide to take him on, and, you know, he winds up saving them, and yada yada yada. Anyways, in the scene where they're actually leaving Cantabite and they're in the ship, we see the scene with this codebreaker, whose name is actually DJ. Fun fact. We see this scene with the codebreaker and Finn where the codebreaker's going through and seeing who this weapons dealer was dealing his weapons to. And it was for First Order, but also for the Resistance. And we kind of see that there's kind of this gray area where there are people who really haven't chosen a side. And I think that's definitely going to be something that Finn struggles with here in the coming films. Okay, so that's enough of the pros. Let's go ahead and get down to the cons. My number one con for the entire plotline with Cantabite would be the fact that it's basically a sad excuse for a casino scene. I understand there are people that really just love those kind of scenes. I personally am not a huge fan, and I don't see the appeal of it. And I feel like they were just trying to do something with it, and it didn't exactly go as well as they had planned, and I felt like they really could have done it better if they really wanted to. Going along with that, I really felt like the entire plotline in Cantabite was an excuse to distract from their plotline that they originally had, which was slightly lacking anyways. I mean, literally the entire movie is about this Resistance ship who's going through the galaxy, and then the First Order's right behind him, and like that's like the whole thing. I mean, we have Rey on the island with Luke and all of that fun stuff, but like I just felt like they were struggling with their plotline. They're like, okay, well, what can we do? Oh, I know, casino scene, because people like those, I guess. My third con that I have with the Cantabite plotline would be the fact that the entire reason that they went to Cantabite was because they needed a master codebreaker, and there was one guy that Maz trusted, and she told them that that's where he was and to go find him. And so they go to Cantabite, they find this guy, they don't ever have the opportunity to talk to him because they get arrested, and then after they go to jail, they completely ignore Maz and don't go and get this other guy. They wind up going with this guy that they met in jail who wound up turning on them anyways. And so I think that that was a really dumb move on their part. Yes, I can see where that is, you know, helping with the character development like I've already talked about, but still, I feel like they could have done it a lot better in a different way. A fourth con for the plotline with Cantabite would be the fact that I found it incredibly predictable. Like, I mean, honestly, it just it seemed incredibly predictable to me. A con that I have with the plotline in Canto Bight was the fact that they weren't ever really in any huge danger. I mean, yeah, there's risk of being arrested, but they literally had that everywhere they went. There's risk of them not finding the code breaker in time, but yeah, that was expected. I felt like it really didn't draw your emotions as much as they wanted it to. My final con for the whole plotline in Canto Bight was the fact that the timing was super improbable. I mean, there's no way that they could have, hey, there's this master code breaker all the way across the galaxy, we're gonna fly to him. And then they were looking around for the guy, they got arrested, they met a dude in jail, they broke out of jail, they got chased by the cops, they freed the space ponies, they got refound by the guy who was from jail, and they made it back just in the nick of time to be able to attempt to break the code. But like, really? You sure about that? It seemed really not possible. I felt like it was a little bit of a stretch. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I really did enjoy the movie The Last Jedi as a whole. I just feel like they could have done a little bit better with the whole plotline with Canto Bight. I feel like they could have done it in a different way that would have fit a little bit better with the story itself. Let us know below how you felt about the whole plotline with Canto Bight. If you loved it or hated it, let us know. We'd love to find out. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and yeah. That's all I got. I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Breathe deep with me over the rushing water.